And let's start them up. Remember, this is not for time, this is just for a certain number of repetitions. We're going for 10. So as soon as you're done with 10 repetitions, you're done. Kick those feet out nice and wide for this X burpee. It's the same thing as a regular burpee, just getting those feet out really, really nice and wide. You want to make sure you get a nice hard jump at the top as well. Just keep that motion going. If you want to make it even a little bit more difficult, then get those hands out nice and wide as well. So you want them about twice shoulder width apart. And Kelly's done with her 10. If you're not done with yours quite yet, then just keep going until you have them finished. Just going to use up a little bit of that rest period. Otherwise, just keep those feet moving back and forth, keep those lungs open. Whatever you do, don't stop moving. Got just about 10 seconds left. We're going to start into our split burpees next. This one's just a little bit different motion when you come up to the top. Let's start in 2, 1, and begin. Split those feet back and forth and drop down. Do that regular burpee motion. Back up, split those feet again, and back down. Just make sure that every single time you come up to the top again to do that split motion of those feet, you switch which foot leads first. So the first time you're going to move forward with that left foot, second time move forward with that right foot. Just keep that motion going. Again, only 10 repetitions. Now you can keep up with Kelly, just do the same pace she's doing. You can move more quickly if you can keep that form clean, or you can slow it down. It's completely up to you. And that's Kelly's last one right there. Keep going if you need to. We've got another 25 seconds rest. Just keep those feet moving. If you really want to start getting that cardio up a little bit more, then do a little bit of a jog in place or even jumping jacks. Just about 10 seconds left. We'll move on to our next burpee, which is going to be a thigh slap burpee. This one's a little bit harder than the last two. And let's start up. So drop down into that burpee motion. When you come back up, you're going to jump really nice and high and drive those knees up, slapping those thighs with those hands, trying to keep those hands up nice and high. Bring those knees up to those hands rather than those hands down to those knees. It's a nice quick motion, nice high, hard jump at the top. Just keep that motion going. Nice quick motion, kicking those feet back out and then pulling right back underneath you. And Kelly's done with her 10. She's got another 25 seconds of rest. Again, just keep those feet moving back and forth. Finish up those burpees if you need to, if you haven't gotten all those 10 done yet. Ten seconds left. We're moving on to a burpee plus a knee next, so you can have doing a knee motion down at the bottom. And let's start up. Drop down to that burpee, knee to opposite elbow, so left knee to right elbow, right knee to left elbow. Just kicking it back and forth, and then pull those feet back up underneath you and jump nice and high in the center. Just keep that motion going. When you're down in that burpee position, when you're down in that push-up position, make sure you keep those hips nice and low. Don't let those hips kick up in the air. Now, if you start getting too tired to do this in a nice clean form, you can always modify it just a little bit. Instead of pulling both those feet in, hopping them underneath you, you can always pull one foot in at a time. Just make sure that you alternate which foot you use every single time you come up. Now just keep that motion going, modify it if you need to, but try to push through it as hard as you can with the hardest version you can, as long as you can keep that form nice and clean. And that's Kelly's last one right there. She gets to start her break. Now just remember, you don't have to keep up with Kelly as far as her pace goes. Just do whatever's comfortable for you. Alright, we've got just about 10 seconds left till we start that next one, which is going to be a squat hold burpee. So every single time you come up from that burpee, you're going to keep those hips really nice and low. Start you in 2, 1, and begin. Drop down, kick those feet out. Bring those feet back up underneath you, keep those hips nice and low, hold it for just a couple seconds, then kick it right back out again nice and quick. So that kick out with those feet down into that push-up position and back up is really, really fast, but as soon as you bring those feet up underneath you again, you're going to hold those hips low and just freeze it down there. The lowest point of that squat is you can control for just a few seconds before you start into that motion again. And we're almost done. Kelly has just a couple more repetitions. Let it relax. Alright, Kelly's got her 10 done. We got 25 seconds of rest. And we've got just about 10 seconds left till we start into that next one, which is going to be a burpee jack. We're going to be doing one burpee for 3 jumping jacks. So we'll start up here in just 2, 1, and start it. So 3 jumping jacks, then 1 burpee. Snap it out real quick, another 3 jumping jacks, and a burpee. Just keep that motion going, that same exact progression. Just make sure you keep it nice and quick. Snap those feet out into that push-up position, right back up underneath you as fast as you can, then into that jumping jack as fast as you can. Keep those arms and legs nice and rigid for that jumping jack. Don't let anything flail around. And we're almost done. Kelly has a couple more to go. So last one right here. Get those jumping jacks done. That last burpee. And let it relax. Alright, good job. Another 25 seconds rest. Remember, just don't stop moving. Keep those feet moving back and forth like Kelly is. Or if you really want to get that little extra cardio out of it, do a jog in place or just keep those jumping jacks going. We got just about 10 seconds left till we start into our next one, which is going to be a lateral burpee. So we're going to be jumping left to right, doing a burpee motion, that kick out motion on each side. Get ready and start up. Step off to one side, do that burpee motion. When you come back up, do a nice hard jump in the opposite direction. Do a burpee motion on the other side and then back again. Just keep alternating back and forth, left to right with that wide jump every single time you come up from that push-up position. Make sure that that push-up position is nice and solid. Get those hips down nice and low. Kicking both those feet out and back as quick as you possibly can. And as soon as you come back up onto those feet, you're going to do that nice, low, wide lateral jump, trying to get as far as you possibly can, staying as low as you possibly can. Just making sure you're jumping in the opposite direction you did last time. Almost done, just two more on each side. Here's your last one to the left, back to the right, and let it relax. Alright, good job. That is 10 repetitions done of that one. Our 25 seconds has started. Just keep those feet moving back and forth. We'll be starting into that next burpee in just a second. Now we've got just about 10 seconds left till we start into those heel slap burpees. This one's going to take just a little extra core strength. We'll start you up in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Drop down to that push-up position, hold it, and you're going to bring that left heel to right hand, that right heel to left hand, just kind of kicking it back over top of your body. You might not be able to actually touch. That's perfectly fine, just as long as you're trying to. Just keep that motion under control. Nice, slow, controlled motion. When you drop it down, you want to make sure that you're keeping that plank position. Those hips are nice and low. And then snap those feet right back up. Jump up really hard, just like a regular burpee, and then right back down again, trying to cross those feet back over top of you, reaching down towards those heels. Now, because you're having to hold that plank for a while, kicking those heels up behind you, you're going to have a tendency to want to hold your breath because those abs are engaged really tightly. So make sure that you're not holding your breath. You want to make sure you keep those lungs open all the time. And Kelly's almost done. She's got one more repetition. And there's Kelly's 10 right there. If you're not done with yours, just finish them up. We've got 25 seconds rest before we start into that next round. And we've got just about 10 seconds till we start into that next burpee. We're going to be doing frog hop burpees. So this is very similar to that squat hold burpee, but you're going to be actually doing a bouncing hop, getting those feet up off the ground. And start up. Kick those feet out, back underneath you, keep those hips low, hop 3 times, and then kick those feet out again. Just a nice quick motion. Make sure you're keeping those hips low, and make sure every single time you hop, you're trying to get those feet off the ground. Just don't go to a full extension. You don't want to actually bring those legs to a full extension and stand all the way up. You want to keep those hips nice and low, just a few inches at the bottom of that range of motion, hopping those feet off the ground. Kelly's got just a couple more repetitions to go. There's your last one right here. Do that burpee one more time. And let it relax. Good job. Alright, 25 seconds of rest until we start into the next one. Just keep those feet moving, keep those lungs open. Now if you've been keeping track, you notice we just finished number 9. We have one more style of burpee to go through. We're actually going to end off with a slightly easier one. This is going to be a quiet burpee. You're going to be walking those feet out nice and slow and walking them back up nice and slow. Same thing though, 10 repetitions. We'll start you off in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Down into that push-up position, walking those feet out, slowly walking them back in. Stand up, hands over your head, but no hard jump. When you go back down into that push-up position, make sure you start leading with a different leg than you did the time before. So you want to always make sure you're alternating. You never ever want to always lead with the same leg. You want to make sure you have a nice balance between left and right. Just keep that motion going. Keep those lungs open. Nice, slow, controlled motion. Try to see how quiet you can be while you're doing this. Try to barely let those toes make any noise as they come in contact with the ground. We only have 2 more repetitions to go through. Keep them nice and quiet, under control. 1 more. Slowly stepping those feet out, back up. And you are done. Good job. This workout is complete. You just finished 100